So today, in nutshell, I'll just share a few of the experience of mine. When I talk about criminal liability in this country, I always say to my doctor, never ever get worried with the police calls. I've seen majority of doctors are really get sweat when they got a call from the police. They get a summon and they don't know what to do, and they get really sleepless night. Friend, we in this country are highly protected in criminal cases. Let me very openly share with my friend. In medical negligence cases, the Supreme Court, the Honorable Supreme Court, has already protected by the judgment to all the doctors in this country when the criminal liability comes and fasten on doctors. The beautifully defined the judgment as differentiated between driver and doctor when it comes to negligence act of causing a death. I have got a multiple cases of death in dental practice. I've got 3 cases of local anesthesia leading to death in dental practice. 1 case of pediatric where tooth was removed under OPD setup by giving a GA, what was a gross mistake done by the pendodentist or pediatrician, where Bachu died because of aspiration in an OPD center. But in all given scenarios, situation cases where death has come, yes, multiple cases of death also came to me, which was later came. Later in the sense, caused because of their wrong done at initial stage. But in all given scenarios, situation cases, my friend, you will never ever going to get arrested. So don't get fear with the police calls or summons or anything else, because you are protected, because law says unless it has been opinized by the expert, you are not going to get arrested. And then section which applies is 304A is a simple section which says causing a death without intention with a negligent act. So negligent act is going to be domain, and the punishment is what? Up to 2 years, 0 to 2 years, bailable offense. So nothing happened because less than 7 years, you're not going to get arrested. So take out fear from your mind that you're going to get arrested in any criminal cases, which every doctor fears because they are not having a knowledge. But friend, yes, 304 plain definitely talks different thing. 304 is nowadays been applied in many cases. I've seen that 304 says causing a death without intention, with a knowledge that particular thing can cause a death. Now, with a knowledge is the word which is defined well in the law dictionaries. Like, if at all, I want to give an example, which is all real examples. There was a case where doctors had removed the tooth, but not done blood investigation to find out if patient is having a diabetes or other disease. Patient went in septicemia, got admitted in higher center, ultimately died. So in that case, doctor was arrested under luckily 304A, but not doing the investigation. Like there was a case came to me from some part of the country where a patient was having a bleeding disease, also on a thinner which was not disclosed to the patient. After the surgery, patient started bleeding, got admitted to higher center and ultimately died because of the bleeding. So various cases do come if at all you are not very careful in such a scenario. In one of the case where tooth extraction was done by this doctor on a compulsion done by the patient because pain was very severe. Patient has given wrong history. Doctor has removed the tooth. Patient came back with a bleeding. Doctor has done a packing, but bleeding doesn't stop. He called orthodontist at midnight around 10:30. Orthodontist has asked this doctor, have you checked the BP? He said no. He asked for the BP instrument. BP instrument was not there in the clinic of my doctor. He ran to some general practitioner, brought the BP instrument, and BP was around 240, 120, very high BP. The suture was not available. Patient got admitted to hospital. BP was controlled. Suturing was done. And the case got filed against this doctor in all the cases. I handled that case. Nothing has happened to my doctor. But why I'm sharing all this, these comes under the knowledge factor domain. So, if not doing pre-testing of the patient prior to the surgery or prior to the procedure are definitely are going to go on by the knowledge factor. You don't know the patient is having a blood disease or patient has a blood thinner or patient is already a diabetic. So all these are mandatory part for my doctor. Moreover, I always recommend every dental people to have glucometer in their clinic and BP instrument in their clinic. That is a mandatory instrument which they need to have. And by default, make a habit of doing SGT for every procedural patient. You don't know patient is right or wrong, but SGT is not going to go wrong. And sugar test randomly, if gives some clearance that patient is high diabetic, abandon the surgery. BP instrument, if there is hypertension, please ask the patient, take a medical fitness before you proceed. But medical fitness, again, to be taken properly. I have got a case where 67-year, 73-year-old people went to this dentist, knowing this, that patient has given a history of hypertension and diabetes. So doctor said, this doctor, I have very careful. He said, no, I want a medical fitness because at age of 73, with a history of hypertension and diabetes, I cannot remove the teeth. The patient went to his general practitioner, who is a eyes doctor, who just examined the patient and noted down the BP, noted down the other findings and given a witness. On that witness, this doctor has removed the teeth. After 4 hours, the patient died. And then case came to me. So such a fitness also is going to be a question mark. My friend, you need to be very careful when the question of your life comes, your reputation comes, your practice comes. In criminal liability, friend, nothing to worry. You are going to be protected well. My doctors are now jumping to cosmetic sectors, aesthetic practice, lots of cosmetic domain has been adopted by my dentistry people. Friend, definitely do that. But always see that how much and what are allowed to us and which domain we fit in. In my word, with my experience, anything which you have been taught in syllabus of yours are absolutely a free hand to you too in your regular practice.